Howdy folks, Yildai and Cloud here for Yildai's Pet Corner. She is the mother of Nix and Scooby and Meatball and Mallow. You've already seen Rocky, the father of them. Last week we had 47 subscribers. That's a lot of bones to be bringing out, so I just brought out a handful for now, and she gets the first one. So here we go. And next week, what I'd like you guys to do is, for this video, please put in a 1 for Mallow or a 2 for Meatball. We will have them subscriber roundup. Also, we're still in version 2.0, and hopefully we'll be able to get into version 2.5 this week, but I had a few technical difficulties, so we'll hammer through them and get it going as quickly as we can. Thank you.
It's a beautiful morning in the neighborhood. Okay, Nix, go to the bathroom. And off he goes, racing through the neighborhood until he finds the perfect spot.
Welcome to Yildai's Pet Corner.
You ever notice how dogs seem to have a sixth sense for certain things? It's an almost supernatural ability. You could be on the other side of the house, trying to open a bag of chips with the stealth of a ninja, and yet, within seconds, there's a furry face right beside you. Their expression says it all. Ah yes, I sensed a disturbance in the snack force. It's a cute and funny quirk, a daily reminder of their incredible awareness. But what happens when that same instinct, that same deep connection to their human, is called upon not by the crinkle of a bag, but by a true life-or-death emergency? This is the true story of Kelsey, a golden retriever whose world was turned upside down one brutal winter morning in Michigan. Her owner, Bob, stepped outside for just a moment, but a patch of black ice sent him crashing to the frozen ground. He was alone, badly injured, and unable to move as the temperatures began to plummet. For nearly 20 hours, he lay paralyzed in the snow, facing the lethal threat of hypothermia. Most people would not survive a night like that. But Bob wasn't entirely alone. Kelsey refused to leave his side. She did 3 simple things that only a dog could do. She stayed, using her body to shield him from the deadly cold. She licked his face and hands, a constant, desperate plea to keep him conscious. And she barked, a relentless call for help that echoed through the frozen night. This is the story of how those 3 simple acts of instinct and loyalty kept her human alive long enough for rescue to arrive. This happened in Michigan during a particularly brutal winter. It was early morning, and a man stepped outside his home. No coat, no phone, just for a moment. Except that moment turned into a nightmare. He slipped on a patch of black ice and fell hard. The kind of fall that steals your breath and scrambles your thoughts. The impact left him stunned and in excruciating pain, unable to move properly. Almost immediately, the biting cold began its silent work. Here's the terrifying thing about extreme cold. Your body loses heat far faster than it can produce it, especially when you're lying on frozen ground, a process called conduction. Hypothermia can set in with surprising speed. First comes the uncontrollable shivering, then confusion, then a dangerous lethargy. He tried calling for help, his voice barely a whisper against the wind. The neighborhood was asleep, no one heard him. Well, almost no one. Inside, his dog, Kelsey, heard something more than just a sound. She heard that the sound was wrong. Kelsey bolted outside and immediately understood the situation was dire. Dogs are masters at reading distress, not just through tone of voice and body language, but through scent. Scientists have confirmed that dogs can smell the hormonal shifts in our bodies, detecting stress hormones like cortisol that spike during a crisis. For Kelsey, that scent was an alarm bell. She went into action. First, she stayed with him, a furry anchor in the snow. Then, she started barking loudly, repeatedly, a desperate signal piercing the morning quiet. And this is crucial, that non-stop barking is pure alert behavior. A primal instinct meant to attract the pack's attention when a member is in danger. But perhaps the most incredible part was how Kelsey fought back against the cold. She pressed her warm body against his, a living blanket trying to share her heat. She licked his face and hands, not just for comfort, but to keep him stimulated, to keep him present. She refused to leave his side as the hours crawled by and the freezing day bled into an even colder night. Honestly, if my dog had to stay outside in the cold all night, he'd probably be like, "Okay, I love you, but this seems like a you problem." But not Kelsey. She was all in, committed to a vigil that would stretch for hours, through the darkest, coldest part of a brutal Michigan winter night. As the moon tracked across the sky, the temperature plummeted, dropping well below freezing. For the man on the ground, every minute that passed made survival less likely. For Kelsey, every minute was another chance to fight back against the cold. This is where the science gets serious, and it's a race against time. Lying on frozen ground, the body loses heat rapidly through a process called conduction. It's like placing a warm drink directly on a block of ice. As the core temperature drops, hypothermia sets in. It isn't dramatic at first. It's quiet. Thoughts slow, speech slurs, and confusion makes it nearly impossible to self-rescue. Eventually, the heart and respiratory systems slow down, leading to loss of consciousness. Many people in similar situations don't survive until morning. The odds were stacked against him. But Kelsey, driven by instinct, kept doing three things that likely saved him. First, she stayed pressed against his core, sharing her own body heat to slow his temperature drop. It's a simple act, but it can add precious time. Second, she kept licking his face and hands. This wasn't just for comfort. It was a constant physical stimulation meant to keep him responsive and prevent him from slipping away completely. And third, she barked, not just a few times, but continuously, a desperate, piercing alarm cutting through the silent night. Eventually, after nearly 20 hours, a neighbor finally heard the relentless sound, knew something was wrong, and went to check. They found the man, with Kelsey still faithfully by his side. Emergency services arrived and rushed him to the hospital, where doctors confirmed what the neighbor already knew. Without Kelsey, the outcome likely would have been very different. So why do dogs do this? It's not just loyalty, it's also biology and evolution. Dogs have lived alongside humans for tens of thousands of years. During that time, they developed strong social bonding mechanisms with us. Their brains release oxytocin, the same bonding hormone humans experience when interacting with their owners. In simple terms, to many dogs, their human is part of their pack. And when a pack member is in trouble, they respond. That's exactly what Kelsey did. But here's the thing. As incredible as Kelsey's story is, the next rescue story we're covering in part 2 might be even more surprising. Because the hero in that one didn't bark, didn't fetch, and definitely didn't wag its tail. In fact, most people would never expect this animal to save a human life, yet it did. And what happened next stunned scientists and rescuers alike. So, in part 2, we're going to look at an animal hero that proves bravery, shows up in the most unexpected places. But first, hey, let's go to the backyard and see Cloud. She is Rocky's wife and the mother of their 4 puppies, Nix, Scooby, Meatball, and Mallow. And don't forget to vote. The link will be in the description below on the video you'll be voting on. Alright, let's go check on them.
Hi, Dad. I love your stories. And if you at home enjoy them too, please, pretty please hit like and subscribe. It makes me so happy.
Hey, awesome. What did you guys think of Cloud? Put your comments down below. I'm curious what you noticed about her leadership and how she managed the whole group. It's a great example of pack dynamics in a familiar setting. Alright, let's jump back into the story. In part 1, we talked about a rescue where an animal stepped in when things went very wrong, and it reminded us just how fast those real-life emergencies can unfold, often in the blink of an eye. The stakes are incredibly high, and there's rarely time to think. And what we saw is that animals don't just react randomly. Their actions aren't just pure instinct. A lot of their behavior is tied to complex social intelligence, deep bonding, situational awareness, and a powerful connection to their family, human or otherwise. They notice when a routine is broken. They sense when something is wrong. But the second story today features a hero so unexpected, it challenges everything we think we know about animal courage. If I asked you right now, what animal would you pick to save your life in an emergency? Most people would immediately say a loyal dog, maybe a powerful horse, capable of carrying you to safety, perhaps even a highly intelligent dolphin if you were lost at sea. But I'm willing to bet that very few people, if any, a pig. But that's exactly what happened in Pennsylvania, where a pot-bellied pig named Lulu made a series of conscious decisions that went far beyond simple instinct, and in doing so, likely saved a woman's life. Her name was Lulu. She wasn't a barn wanderer or a movie prop, just a pot-bellied pig who lived at home like any other pet. And while they might not be as common as a dog or cat, pigs are wildly capable animals. They can learn their names, follow commands, and even recognize different people. In fact, studies show they can solve complex puzzles and remember places, with a cognitive ability that can stump some dogs and even certain primates. Their intelligence is well documented, but it's their emotional capacity that often gets overlooked. They form deep social bonds, much like we do. But on one ordinary morning, none of that trivia mattered. Lulu's owner suddenly collapsed. She was alone, unable to get up, and barely responsive. The house fell completely quiet. No footsteps, no phone calls, no help was coming. The familiar pattern of the day was broken, and the silence itself was a signal that something was terribly wrong. There was no one else around to help, except Lulu. Now, think about this from an animal's perspective. Your human, the center of your routine, suddenly stops moving. They're not responding. The environment is unnaturally still. Lulu knew her person wasn't okay. She tried the small things first, nudging her owner, making sounds, pacing anxiously by the door, but there was no response. The room stayed wrong. The quiet signals weren't working, and with no one nearby to hear her, she had a problem. So, she made a new plan. Lulu found a way out of the house, squeezing through a small opening and heading directly for the street. Think about that choice for a moment. The road is loud, exposed, and full of threats. Most animals instinctively avoid it, but Lulu didn't. She walked into the traffic lane and did something remarkable, something most animals would never do. She laid down. Now, that is commitment. Most pets knock over a trash can when they want attention. Lulu said, "Nope, we're stopping the entire highway." At first, cars slowed down but kept going. Drivers probably thought the pig would move, but Lulu didn't. She stayed in the road. Eventually, one driver stopped, and when they did, Lulu got up and led them back toward the house. That moment is what animal behaviorists call goal-directed signaling, an animal communicating intentionally to solve a problem. When the driver followed Lulu inside, they discovered her owner collapsed and immediately called for help. Emergency responders arrived soon after, and that response likely saved her life. So why does this story stand out to scientists? Because it stacks multiple complex abilities all at once. Pigs are known for advanced memory, problem solving, and social bonding. Research even shows they can learn complex tasks and anticipate the outcomes of their actions, acting as if they can predict, if I do this, then that will happen. In Lulu's case, several things likely came together. First, social bonding. She recognized her owner was in distress and cared that something was wrong. Second, causal reasoning. She understood she needed outside help and used the road, the one place people would appear. When her initial nudges failed, she escalated to a method humans couldn't ignore. That's not random behavior. That's flexible problem solving under immense pressure. Now, compare this with the first rescue from part 1. That event looked like an immediate reaction, a fast, protective response in a dangerous moment. Lulu's action was different. It was pure strategy over force. She didn't fight a threat. She recruited help by cleverly using our systems, roads, drivers, and ultimately, emergency responders. Different species, different methods, but the same powerful through line. Animals using their social awareness to solve distinctly human problems. That combination of bonding plus flexible thinking is what keeps showing up, and it's an incredible level of awareness for any animal. So here's the reveal that ties both stories together. Animals don't just save people because of instinct. Many times, they do it because of connection, intelligence, and awareness of their human family. Different species, different methods, same outcome, a life saved. And speaking of animals doing unbelievable things, don't miss Sea Life Saturday, every Saturday, where we dive into real ocean stories and animals whose intelligence is just as surprising. Some of those rescues are honestly hard to believe until you see the science behind them. All right, I think I hear Rocky, Nix, and Scooby moving around again. Let's go see what they're up to.
Hey, enjoying our stories? Buy my dad a coffee, thanks. On behalf of myself, my pups, and my dad, we thank you for watching.
Please remember to like
and subscribe. We get bones.